Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. I am facing a different way today. I hope that the lighting is good. Maybe the lighting was better the other way, but I don't think it really matters, does it? I hope you guys can see me. Tell me if the lighting's okay or if I need to switch a different way. Good morning, Karma. Hi, Candy. Hello, Ricky and Susan. Oh, and Jacqueline. Hello, hello. Hi, Carrie. And Tanya. Ashley, Tanya, we need to talk after my live stream today. That'd be great. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hey, tell me if the lighting's okay. Is the lighting okay? I know there's a few second delay here, but tell me if it's all right. You love my straight hair. It's a straight week. I try to curl it, but it's a straight week this week. So thank you so much. I need to decline this call. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. The lighting is good. Linda, my prayers are with you, sweetie. I saw your post and, yeah, my prayers are with you. So good morning, everyone. I'm excited to be here today. Wow, I haven't done it by myself for a few days here because I was going to do it on Sunday, but then I had that darn headache. So I'm excited. I love these times where I'm outside and it's like 50 degrees out here this morning. It's super cold, but I love being out here so much and it just gives me just that excited feeling. That's what nature does to me though. So, all right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with just with one breath, just to kind of ground and get us going for the day. So here we go. Let's breathe in and out. Okay, let's do one more. Ready? In and out. All right. Okay, let's get started today. Today is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and so I'm excited. And of course, the Jesus calling goes right along with it today. So I'm just going to read a little bit. It says, "Seek to please me above all else. Let that goal be your focus point as you go throughout the day. Such as a mindset will protect you from scattering your energy to the winds and other people." So that's just the very first sentence in this book today, and it goes along exactly with what I wanted to talk about today. So every single day, I come across people that are more beautiful, more intelligent, more successful. Just, you come across those people that are skinnier than me, that look better than me, that have better biceps than me. And, there's endless reasons that I can let myself compare them with them, right? And sometimes it can become an obstacle. But sometimes it can be healthy if you let that competition, if you're a competitive kind of person. Now, for me, I am like, oh my gosh, I just want everyone to win. In fact, when I played competitive soccer, I was pretty competitive in that soccer, obviously, or else I wouldn't have been able to play competitive soccer. But most generally, I'm like the inclusive person. I'm like, I just want everyone to win. And I think that comes from like back in the day when I was chosen last to be on different teams, like in elementary when there's two captains and they choose who they want, to be on their team. And sometimes I was chosen last and I'm like, okay, I am all inclusive kind of person. So, but a lot of people compare themselves. We're going to talk about comparison today. A lot of people compare themselves because they feel like it's the lack. They're like, oh my gosh, there's not enough beauty to go around or enough money to go around or enough people in the world to join my business to go around. In my company that I'm a part of, network marketing in general, if someone talks to your friend before you get to them, you're like bugged. You're like, oh my gosh, someone, talked to them before me. You guys, there's enough people to go around. There's enough money to go around. You just have to do certain steps to get there. So what I've learned is that personal development is the key. It just is. When I was single, I knew that when I was going through those dating years, I knew that I needed to become the person that I wanted to attract. So, I see a lot of people that jump right back into relationships right after they get divorced or whatever, but they're attracting the same thing into their life that they had before because their energy is the same. They haven't worked on themselves. They haven't done the things necessary to attract something different than what they already, just had for the past whatever years. So I knew that I needed to work on myself, and personal development has been the key for me. So in my company, instead of beating myself up, and I look for ways, like if someone's way more successful than me, then I look for oh my gosh, what are they doing? How are they attracting these people, or what are they doing right in their business? And I follow them instead of being like, oh, God, they're rising to the top faster than me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to find out what they're doing or how they're becoming so successful. Or if you are at a job and you're wanting to get a promotion or, something like that, then be the best superhero that you can be at your job and stand out above the other hundreds of people or the other few people, and don't do it in a fake way, but just be the best version of yourself. And if you're in a relationship where you fear that you're not enough, then do the inner work to start believing, because in reality, no human is any better than another. We all put our pants on the same way every single day, right? So become that person that you wish to be, and become that person that you want to attract into your life. Remember I said that you're the sum of the 5 people that you hang around the most. Well, if you don't have great friends, or if you're hanging around people that are kind of negative all the time, then start becoming that person that you wish to attract into your life. Oh, my mom's watching. Hi, Mama. So become that person. Does that make sense? Instead of comparing yourself to them like, oh, I'm never going to be pretty enough. Well, if that person, if you want to become someone like someone at the gym that's working out like a crazy person, then become that person. You have the ability to become that person just like that person already is. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So like I said, personal growth has been my best friend. And one of the things that I learned very quickly is to take 100% responsibility for my own actions and to own up to my part in things. Like if you're in a disagreement with someone, own up to how you're feeling. In my divorce, I owned up to my entire, 50, 100%, whatever that was, of what went wrong in my marriage, instead of always doing the finger pointing. When I worked at the dental office, I saw a lot of finger pointing go along, like, oh, well, this happened because she did this or she did that, instead of taking your own responsibility, right? So, like I said, a little bit of comparison can be healthy if it helps you to reach your goal. Like if you see someone rising to the top or working out at the gym better, instead of comparing yourself to them, let it be something that pushes you, right? To be that person. And also, if you are comparing yourself with people that are on social media, then get off social media or stop following those people or something. Let social media be something that drives you or that makes you want to become a better person. But if you're looking at it and thinking, oh my gosh, everyone has perfect children, they have the perfect hair, they have, they're the perfect family, they are Barbie and Ken, nothing ever goes wrong, you don't know what's going on inside their home. I remember I was sitting at church one day and I was looking at this cute little family, and she was just beautiful, perfect body, he is just handsome, like they were that Barbie Ken couple, right? And they had these darling kids that were dressed to the hilt and their hair was always done perfect. I'm like, oh my gosh, they have the perfect life. And then the next thing I knew, the cops were at their house and, he had been beating her up, and you just never know what's going on behind closed doors. So don't compare yourself to people because you don't even know what's going on, right? The only thing you can do is compare yourself to yourself and, just the only person you have to please is yourself and God, I guess is what I'm trying to get to. One thing that I noticed too, when I was in this huge funk of mine, I was even comparing myself to myself in a bad way. Like I was like, oh my gosh, last year at this time, I was 30 pounds lighter. I was able to run better. I was able to do this better. My business was more, it was going better, like so many things. And I was comparing, and I was letting it get me down that I was comparing myself to myself. So watch that as well. But really the only people that you have to please is, you don't have to please, but that you get to please is yourself and the Lord. So I came up with five steps that helps me every day to not compare myself to others. So the number one thing is to focus on my own strengths and my own skills. So I love this book. It's called Strength Finder 2.0. And I love this book for two reasons. Number one, there's a code for a test that you can take inside. There's a code that you can input into the computer, into the website, and you can take the test. If you just go in and take the test, it's like $75. But this book, I think, is like $35, but you get the code for the free test. And it tells you what your top 5 strengths are. So you guys, if you just work in your strengths and you collaborate with people that have different strengths, then your business is going to flourish. Everything in your personal life is going to flourish. You hire people to do the things that you are not good at or that you don't want to learn. So like some of the strengths in here are achiever, activator. I'm just going to go through a few. Communication. These are things that I'm not that great at, right? Developer, discipline. I'm not that great at. Empathy, focus. So some that I am great at is that I'm an includer. That's one of them here. I'm futuristic. Like I love to help people see that they can accomplish anything in their life. I love to help them find that why, like why they want to improve that themselves and things like that. Another thing is I'm positivity. I love positivity. Like don't say anything negative around me because I'll call you on it because I just want the energy to always be continually just up. I want everyone to be happy all around me. Responsibility, that's not me. So just, there's some things in here, strategic, that's just not me. So I love to work in my top 5 strengths, to be that includer, to be futuristic. Another one of my strengths is visionary, to help people, to help myself like be a dreamer. I'm such a dreamer, and my husband is a realist. Do you have that relationship at all in your marriage or with people that you know? He's a realist. I'm like, oh my gosh, honey, we can like do this and this and this. And he's like, well, we can't because that's just not realistic. I'm like, oh my gosh, just let me dream for a minute. Just let me dream. Don't squash my dreams. Uda, you can get this book just on Amazon or at Barnes & Noble or something. And it's called Strength Finder 2.0. And I love it. So when you work in your strengths, you guys, it's going to bring you more joy and happiness, and you're not in inner confidence, and you're not going to compare yourself with other people because the other people are working in their strengths as well. Does that make sense? Okay, so number 2 is action. So action is crucial. If you are in a marriage that you are struggling in, then go get the book, The Love Dare. Have you guys ever seen that movie, Fireproof? It's a Christian movie. When my marriage was struggling, I went and got the 40-day Love Dare. And it's 40 days of action steps that you can do every single day for your spouse without them knowing. You don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to do the Love Dare for you. Like, do it without them knowing. And so if your marriage is struggling, do the 40-day Love Dare. It's a fantastic book. The next thing is that if you are working a business or something like that, do those income producing activities, whatever that is for you, the things that get you closer to your goal. I'm a list girl. I was raised that every Saturday morning we had a list of chores we had to do. So I can't even go to bed at night without making myself a list of what I'm supposed to do the next day. Or I get up the next day, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't think I have anything I have to do today, because it's like out of sight, out of mind. If it's not in front of me, I don't do it. It's the strangest thing. Or if you're working for someone else, then be the best employee, be that superhuman employee, that everybody loves and respects. And don't compare. This is the number one thing I think that I I think that I've struggled the most in comparison is that I compare my chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. So, in network marketing, they'll have somebody that joins my company and they shoot right to the top. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how in the world did they do that? And I start beating myself down. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been in this company for 8 years. And, I'm still not as far as they are or whatever. Well, they've been in network marketing for 20, 30 years. And now they've jumped, come to the company and they've shot straight to the top. So don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20, because they've learned how to go out and to talk to people. They've learned the skills necessary to be able to shoot straight to the top. You guys, we're all on a learning curve. We really are. So don't compare yourself to them. I'm talking to myself just as much as I am to you guys. Okay. So number 3 is realistic thoughts. And, even if I became the most confident superhuman in the world, there's still going to be moments where I'm going to fall back into comparison, right? So I want to share a little something with you. Have you ever been driving down the road and you're on the freeway or on the highway and someone cuts you off and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go right up next to them. I'm going to give them the stink eye and I'm going to, glare at them and I'm just going to be mad. And you let it ruin your whole entire day, right? So I've learned that instead of doing that or, letting someone ruin your day in any kind of way, you just say out loud, oh, you win. You win. And it doesn't bring down your vibration. It keeps your vibration up because you're like, oh my gosh, they won, because you don't know what's going on. And you've cut people off before. So why would you get mad at someone else for cutting you off? Because you've done it without even knowing before. I guarantee it. But number 2, you don't know what's going on with them. They might be on their way to the hospital. They might have just had, someone pass away in their family. You don't know what's going on in their life, right? So instead of letting that whole situation bring you down, when they cut you off in front of you, like, oh my gosh, you win. I love this, right? So then you just stay on top of things. I remember in a parking lot one day, we were like, this girl was coming this way and I was kind of coming this way and I didn't really see her. And so I just kind of pulled out in front of her. Well, she was honking. She was yelling the F word and my kids were with me and they're like, Mom. And I'm like, you guys, she won. She won. Like, because then she pulled out in front of me and went on and I'm like, oh my gosh. So instead of being like, well, the F words and stuff weren't great and it brought me down a little bit. But then I'm like, you guys, she won. It's okay. It's all right. She's going to go on with her day and we're going to go on with our day and we're going to stay on top, right? Okay, so the next one is number 4 is send love and kindness. And I've talked to you guys a lot about this over the last 27 days. So compliment people, send them heart links, send them those grata texts I taught you guys to do, to just pick up your phone and just scroll, or pick someone that you've been thinking about for a while and send them that text, or send them that, Facebook message or whatever. And I love the voice messenger in the Facebook Messenger, because then you're able to, they can hear your expression in your voice. So just push that microphone, hold it down and be like, oh my gosh, Julie, I've been thinking so much about you. I want you to have a great day and just know that I love you and I respect you, whatever that is. Or just hold the microphone and say, I've been thinking about you. Have a fantastic day. It's just that easy, but it totally lifts you. Julie Webster, that was for you. Okay. All right, so the next one is number 5, and it's the last one. And know that this is probably the number 1 thing for me. They're all number 1s, but I love this one. Know that God knows what is best for me and that everything is in His timing. So sometimes we want it now, right? Sometimes we're like, we just want it now. Lord, I'm ready. Like, I've learned what I need to learn, and I just want it now. But you guys, faith without works is dead, and works without faith is also just as dead. So we get to have faith that everything is in the Lord's timing, and we still get to keep working towards our goals. Sometimes I get discouraged and I'm like, why am I even working towards this goal when I don't see the Lord's hand in it? Like, He's not, bringing the people, circumstances, and things into my life to help this goal move forward. Or I don't have the ambition to make this goal happen, even though I want it so bad, but I'm just in this, funk, or I'm just not able to make this happen. Well, just know that everything is in God's timing. And that doesn't mean that you just sit back and wait, right? You keep moving towards your goals. You keep doing that, but know that everything is in God's timing. I can't even tell you guys that enough. Like with me being in this funk, I had to give myself that grace and space to be able to be in this funk, to be able to even get that inspiration to start doing I'm not doing 40 days, 30 days. I will keep going, but not every single day. But 30 days for you guys, and for myself. This was totally for myself. So I appreciate you guys jumping on and doing this with me. These 27 days have been amazing, and I'm excited to, bring the last few days with you guys, and then I'll kind of keep going a little bit after that. So Erin Brandley, I love you too. All right. So I just want to end with this. The comparison trap is toxic. I just wrote this morning. The comparison trap is toxic, but we often enter into it without even realizing, right? I mean, it's kind of just a thing that just happens without us even realizing. Taking steps to overcome it, however, will leave you happier, more confident, and free up more mental space for positivity. I love the quote that a flower does not think about competing itself to the flower next to it, right? It just blooms. It just does. And so I'm going to encourage you guys today to really be aware and be really mindful about how you're comparing yourself to other people. And you guys stand out and just bloom no matter what's going around, on around you. So the affirmation that I have so many affirmations for today that could go along with today. I love my affirmation that God knows what is best for me and that everything is in His timing. The other two affirmations that go along with this perfect that I say every day is, I take responsibility for my own well-being and I'm able to function independently of others. And all three of those affirmations go right together when I'm saying them. And so they kind of just all go together with the idea of, Jill, just know that you're doing the best you can at the time and just keep moving forward towards your goals and don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. I hope that helps you guys today. Just know that you are all worth it in the Lord's eyes, and that He loves you so much, and He knows all of us individually. I can testify that to you guys, and I love you so much, and I hope that you have a fantastic day. Play the you win game. I want to hear your experiences from that. You're like, oh my gosh, you win. I even say it to my ex-husband sometimes when he sends me a text, and I'm like, well, I don't text it back, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, he wins, just so it doesn't lower my vibrations. So, all right. Rod said the comparison trap is toxic. Thanks for the reminder. You are so welcome. Repeat the affirmations. Okay, so my 3 affirmations for today, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to post, but God knows what is best for me and that everything is in His timing. The other 2 is I take responsibility for my own well-being and I'm able to function independently of others. Okay. All right, you guys have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Love you.